Malik Rahim. I'm a co-founder of Common Ground Relief and Common Ground Collective in New Orleans, and I'm a congressional candidate for in Louisiana, second district, under the Louisiana Green Party.
Now, Malik, you have had a background with the Green Party. I understand you've been doing a lot of work with trying to revitalize some neighborhoods, help out with healthcare clinics. Can you just describe the situation and your advocacy for the people in New Orleans?
Well, since our conception, we have, in which we started Common Ground with 4 people, we have been able to raise a little over $3 million. We have had over 16,000 volunteers, and we have served over 180,000 people. To say that, and to say that as for the needs, we was just a drop in the bucket. New Orleans is like most cities in America, the tales of two cities. You know, if you're rich, privileged, and white, there's one city. But if you're black or any minority, poor, there's another city. For one half, justice prevails. For the other half, it's only injustice. Some look at those that are elected as representative. Others look at them as oppressors and exploiters. New Orleans is really, I would say the epitome of this type of hypocrisy. Katrina brought it out. Just how our nation, just what our nation feel about its poor. The plight of residents in public housing, forced out by gunpoint, never to be allowed back into their homes. Unemployment in the midst of a construction boom. Lack of training, lack of the social safety nets that's needed for a positive recovery of any city in the aftermath of a disaster. But these are the dominant things. But nobody cares because the Saints is winning. Malik Rahim has been a success. The Jazz Fest, the Essence Festival, these are the things where the concern is at. But as for those who are suffering, the plight is very dismal. Most people look at the number of people who have died, and during Katrina, that 2,000 that died as a direct result. But then in a subtle way, we have lost maybe 10,000. That's those who came and died off of stress, despair, broken spirit. And those are the ones that are dying every day. So when you look at it, you look at this. You look at a city that have hope for one set or one part of its population, and then a city of despair for those that are the least fortunate, our traditionally disenfranchised communities.
Let me ask you, Malik, your organization has provided free clinics, they've provided a lot of support. The situation in New Orleans is still very dire with the housing, and I'm wondering if a preview of your talk tomorrow is to talk about the plight of housing and the urban challenges and education, and what can you as a Green perspective and a Green Party candidate do to address these issues? What can the Green Party do?
Get involved. That's one thing we can do. We can get involved. We can show the rest of the world, the hypocrisy that we live in. Right now, there's a green movement that is building. We have to be that conscious of that movement. We have to make sure that it will not be compromised because of economics. So we have to be there. We have to show that justice can prevail when people of peace and justice come together. And we are capable of showing that if we're going to save life as we know it on this planet, that we have to get involved. We have to be at that leadership to ring the bell, to let people know that the party is over. The days of just being wasteful is over. If the rest of the world would consume as much of this Earth's resources as we consume here in America, we would need 3 or 4 more planets. So something is wrong. So we have to be there to create, and the Green Party is that vehicle. I'm using my candidacy to make sure that because the first thing I'm calling for is a full investigation of the aftermath of Katrina, of our country bungling or lack of caring of what was the consequence of Katrina. Holding those accountable that allow that disaster to turn into the tragedy that it has become. And how can we prevent it from ever happening again? These are the things that my candidacy is based upon. Second, I say the second thing that my candidacy is based upon is health care. Out of all the industrialized nations on this planet, it is shameful that we have so many uninsured people. Some may say, well, if we insure everyone, it'll bankrupt the nation. But not if we insure them with emphasis placed upon preventive medicine. So it's ways that we can do it. The first thing we have to do is end that war. That's the main thing. Because with what we have spent in Iraq in a week, we could rebuild New Orleans. What we have spent on war in one day, we can rebuild the entire Ninth Ward. So it's where our priorities are. So it's up to us, and it's up to everyone, not just those who is running for office. It's up to every Green. They must come out and support those who are making the sacrifice, like Cynthia and myself and others. You have to be there. We have to be there to show that this is not isolated incidents, that we are coming together. That we're gonna be that nucleus. We're gonna be that voice of change. We're gonna be the Republican Party of the 1840s and the 1850s. We're gonna emerge as that alternative party that's gonna bring about the true positive change. Some may say that the Republican Party is the party of Lincoln. I debate this. I believe if you look at what those guys stood for in those days, it resembled more of a Green Party than a Republican Party of today. So I believe that we have to be there. We have to show this nation, we have to show the world that we are here. And one thing we have to also emphasize, that on a global level, the Green Party is a global party. And we have to show this, because only through working together can we save our environment. Because I tell anyone, if we give everybody the social or economic opportunities that everyone wants at the cost of losing our environment. Is it worth it? If we can't drink the water, if we can't breathe the air, you know, what good is it if we destroy life as we know it? You know, so again, these should be the emphasis. Many people say that the economy is the number one issue. I beg to differ. I believe the environment. You know, many people look at the economics of Katrina. That's the effects. But we must deal with the cause, global warming. And we must understand that, you know, we cannot replace this planet. You know, we're going to live or perish here. And I would like to see life goes on and continue.
I want to thank you very much for this interview, and thanks again for coming to my class. It really made a special class. We look forward to your keynote tomorrow.
All right, thank you.